You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
All right. Hello. Welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I'm your host, Denny. I must say, this particular episode will be pre-recorded, and I can't wait to deliver it to your inboxes. And for you guys who subscribe to the show, you'll be the first to know when it lands, and I always appreciate that. But as you guessed it, we have a very special guest for you guys, so you don't want to miss it. Be sure to subscribe to the show. Make sure you hit the bell, whether you're on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or any of those other channels where we are at. You'll be the first to know. All right, before we bring our guest on, I do want to say, what if you were staring straight into the face of a magnificent opportunity and you didn't even know it? Just what does opportunity look like anyway? Many people think opportunity looks like a free ride, a chance to grab onto something, to be powerfully and quickly swept towards fame and fortune with the minimal amount of effort. But that's not necessary. That's actually fantasy. In reality, opportunity looks like hard work. It looks like something that will require some patience and persistence. It looks uncomfortable. It looks challenging. It looks risky. It looks a little rough, and it doesn't come with a guarantee. Would you recognize real opportunity if you saw it? The fact is, guys, it's all around you. Opportunity is any situation in which you can make a positive difference. And surely you come across plenty of those situations every day, right? The more of a difference you can make, the more people who can benefit from it, and the bigger the opportunity will be. So commit to making a positive difference in the lives of those around you and in your own life, and your life will be filled with rewarding opportunities. Take that from me, Coach Denny. That is my word, and word is bond.
Have you struggled budgeting your finances? Don't worry, you're not alone. HumbledBudget.com, that's HumbledBudget.com, is the help and resource you've been searching for. HumbledBudget.com is a personal finance and educational website with a great variety of topics when it comes to budgeting, taxes, investing, and the popular topic of FIRE, financial independence, retire early. HumbledBudget.com has a goal, and that's to help you reach your financial dreams, no matter what your goals are when it comes to finances. It doesn't matter where you start, where you come from, or where you are right now. HumbledBudget.com can help. What are you waiting for? Take that first step to the financial life you've dreamed of and go to HumbledBudget.com. That's HumbledBudget. HumbledBudget.com.
All right, all right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Deanie. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings, you know, the ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Welcome to an extraordinary episode featuring the multi-talented indie filmmaker, author, and artist, Rory D.L. Moorer, with his boundless imagination and unique perspective. Rory has captivated audience across various mediums, and today we will explore the mind of this creative genius and uncover the inspirations that drive his artistic pursuits. And with that, let's invite him on. Rory, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thanks
Pretty
for having
good.
me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We are excited that you're here with us. We have a lot to talk about, especially Office Pool. Man, your artistic journey encompasses filmmaking, writing, painting, just artistic expression in almost all mediums. And that allows you to express your ideas in diverse ways. Can you share a valuable life lesson that you've learned through your artistic endeavors and how it influenced your approach to creating interesting and unique works?
Okay, well, I think what has helped create those endeavors is just association and different experiences with all walks of life, different kinds of people and experiences, travel, and just interacting with people from different races, ages, walks of life. It really has contributed to what I have done in the world, I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So Office Pool is what we're here to talk about. That's a fascinating concept that brings writing utensils to life in a fictional world. What has sparked this idea for this unique story, and how did you approach creating like a humanistic narrative with writing utensils as central characters?
I guess the concept came from my life of just using writing utensils, from an early age, drawing and painting and just, all that stuff in my arts background. And I actually had, over a time, I had, got to a point where I want to explore something else. And I was inspired by a few authors, read a few books, and this was like, I had just turned 40, and I had done art for 20 plus years, 22 years, so since like 18 professionally. So I was, just looking for a change, and we had closed our art gallery that we had, and I had come across a book where it's, 500 things to do before you die, and one of them was to write a book. So I thought that would be, out of checking off the list of that in that book, I got the inspiration to write a book from a book, actually. Wow. And I pursued it from there.
Yeah, that's incredible. How many other things were you able to check off the list of 500 things?
From the list was, I think it was to write a book, also to try to do all 50 states, and I, and a lot of them were travel based, and I picked up this book like pre-pandemic, and I knocked a bunch of them off the list, but and during the pandemic, it kind of put a lot of those interactions on pause. But now that we've kind of come out of that period of time, I've gotten back to doing some. It's some are like skydive, which I'm not going to do, admittedly. I'm not that big of a thrill seeker, like in terms of that, but I will, maybe scuba dive or something, maybe in a shallow cove or something, but the heights, no, that's no for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't skydive, but I would do one of those wingsuits off a mountainside, maybe.
You know what? I would probably try. I would try that. I would try that. Just something. I just know my limitations.
Right. Yeah. Same here, man. So, Artie Bickerson. This is one of the central characters of Office Pool. He's an underachieving ink pen, and he embarks on a coming-of-age journey. What inspired you, or what inspired you to explore themes of self-doubt, pure jealousy, and high expectations, especially in the office setting, and through the perspective of writing utensils?
Okay, well, to self-admittedly, I gotta say that, a lot of that stuff comes from, your own inspirations, your own life experiences. So, I mean, full disclosure, I guess Artie would be, a lot of my particular disposition. At least when I was younger, I wasn't always the most confident person. That kind of comes with age and experience and stuff. So, in terms of like with him, he was one of those pen that when I came up with the concept of him falling for like the stylus pen, which was more in his concept, in his earlier concept out of his league, that was more, it was, with the pens, when I came up with the concept, it was kind of like, how could I have all these pens which are like all unique and diverse, and giving them characters, how could I build upon, his confidence going out throughout the series of books. And I thought back to like shows that I watched, like Back to the Future. You had Marty McFly and Doc Brown, things like that, kind of bringing them along and building his character and stuff. So it was just one of those things where how could I make these characters, these utensils that everybody's familiar with, these inanimate objects, kind of relatable. And I kind of I guess I drew it from within, I guess.
Yeah. So also there's a relationship between Artie and Stan Sharpley. Stan Sharpley, guys, if you don't know, he's an age veteran marker. And he seems to be a significant mentorship for Artie in Office Pool. Can you elaborate on lessons that Artie learns from Stan and how these interactions contribute to his personal growth and development?
Okay. Yeah, it starts with Artie kind of with his best friends. They're on the desktop, and his two best friends are like highlighters, fluorescent highlighter markers, and they're kind of, I guess teenage pens in their late teens, and they're content where they're at, and they don't really have many aspirations. And then kind of Stanley, being the mentor, kind of whips him, sees his potential and kind of whips him into shape, motivates him. And when he just gets him off the desktop to see the world, as it were. And during that, just to broaden his horizons, he brought him to different places, and that's where he kind of he had run into Claire, which was the clairvoyant, which was the actually stylus pen in the upper floors. And that's where he kind of got the motivation that he wanted to self-improve, wanting to meet her, but he didn't have the confidence. So, Stanley would just kind of instill in him that, the mantra which I came up with was, we're all just tools. And that mantra kind of runs throughout the theme of all the books. And it was kind of like when you watching maybe like Star Wars, and every series has like a mantra like, may the force be with you. We're all just tools kind of pertain to all the pens, that they're, no matter what their job is, they all, and how they affect throughout the Office Pool world, they all have a purpose. They all, whatever they do it well. Like Artie, who's an ink pen, can't write fluorescent, and vice versa. And just to be in their own lane, to be confident in what they do and do it well.
Yes, sir. And the storyline with Claire Voyant, that's a pretty nice name, pretty clever. It adds a romantic subplot to Office Pool. Was there any particular human being that gave you the inspiration for Claire?
I would say clairvoyance is probably kind of like collaboration of all my youth girlfriends growing up. You know, I guess it's like not one specific one, but kind of like a compilation of all, you know, the ones that I, you know, in school, or ones I had crushes on, you know, where you didn't, you know, wasn't, you know, so apt to just go up and talk to, you know. I guess if I'm, I would say that, you know what I mean? I had to draw that from somewhere, and I would, thinking about it now, I would think that's where it would come from.
Yeah. Does Office Pool touch on social issues like classism?
It does, because the lower desktop was like the junk drawers, okay, below the main desktop, and they're kind of like the underclass, or like, you know, more, you know, artists on the desktop, which is like more middle class, working class, and then the people in the drawers below the desktop are more working poor, you know, more poverty, or they're perceived as that. There's like a twist in part two. Yeah. And the in the upper offices, which are, you know, the executive offices, that's where you have the laser pens and stylists and stuff like that. That signified the more aristocrats and you know, the well-to-do portions. And they're the more modern pens and stuff with, you know, tablets and stuff like that. So there is that that it comes to a head later on in further in the books, where it's, you know, they want to phase out the older pens. The newer pens want to kind of phase out you know, old stationery and stuff, and kind of move forward. That's the overall arching theme of the whole series, is the plot line.
Oh yeah, that's definitely in the workplace, and definitely a human experience, you know, especially when we get on the subject of ageism.
Yeah, certainly.
And new technology.
Yeah, and it's really a story that kind of I guess it definitely was inspired by, you know, when I was growing up watching like cartoons, maybe like Charlie Brown, where you had like the adults were kind of the backdrop, you know, and the kids were more the focal point. And when the adults would talk like the teachers, it was like the mumble, you know, that wah noise and stuff. And when I was building the world for the series, it was like, how can I have these pens transport from just off this desk into other places and having different scenes? And I used humans as the carriers, that's what they refer to them as, carriers. And I said, you know, to hold the audience, how can I have you know, what job would kind of carry them to in terms of offices, or, you know, different locations? And I came up with like a quarterback, because they're kind of superstitious, you know, by nature. Well, they were growing up. It's kind of a little different now, but that was something I came up with the background of the quarterback, to be kind of carry those two autograph pens and markers around to kind of set the tone of the story.
Yeah. I think also that's a clever way to make it resonate with audiences that are human. You know, we have to understand some type of human involvement. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're smart, so other times we just need a little help. And that's great that you implied those techniques that are relatable and engaging. So your creative process must be multifaceted when working on a project like Office Pool. Can you share some insights into how you approach storytelling and world building, and how you bring your imaginative ideas to life on the screen?
Okay, I guess the way I approached it, Office Pool, was it's kind of like, you know, I used, in my mind, I wrote it in actually a play format, because when I was writing it, I envisioned it as kind of as like a play, and then that can kind of be like transposed into a movie. And I thought about it being adapted into a film, which it eventually did become that. The process, though, I think the process is, you know, like I said, I think it was just inspired, or a a collection of experiences for me. Just all the things movies that I've watched. Like I would think of Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Toy Story, where you kind of have that dynamic between Buzz Lightyear and Woody. You know, I kind of pulled from those kind of projects and kind of shaped the world from there. You know, I think it's definitely something like that.
Yeah. And as an indie filmmaker, author, and artist, you work across multiple creative mediums. How do these different art forms complement each other, and how does each medium allow you to express your ideas in a unique way?
Well, yeah, they definitely, they're all different dynamics and very distinct disciplines. I was inspired to get into the film by my younger brother, who's a writer. He wrote a couple treatments and pilot sitcoms and stuff years ago. And he had recently, like pre-pandemic, he had actually, him and my other brothers were producing an indie film, like a crime drama. And that was kind of the thing where they inspired me to get into like helping them out with the set design and stuff like that. And I just was with him and saw his process, and he's been just doing it for a while. And it was something I did want to explore between him and my brother-in-law, who's the actual editor. We, you know, growing up, the three of us, we've always kind of been like very, I would say, creative, you know, just even going to stores and stuff when we were younger. Like we would purchase toys, but then we would take them apart and reconfigure them. Just kind of, to our friends, it was kind of weird, but that's what we did. That was the three of us. We just did stuff like that.
Dope. All right. So, what's next for Office Pool? We know that you're going out now. You're doing the campaigns, hugging necks, kissing babies, shaking hands. You know, getting the word out, that kind of thing. What's next in terms of Office Pool? What can we expect?
Okay, I just finished the first film, Office Pool Orientation, from the 3 books. It was one of those things we had at first shopped it to a couple of different studios, and they had got back to us, and I was gonna go through some studios and have it funded. But what I ended up doing was actually me, you know, producing it ourselves, because there was some changes that they wanted to make, like to the names, like a couple of the names, and change some of the story arc, which were non-starters. So I just thought it best to kind of just go our own way in terms of that, and just give it a go the way it came out. And that would be out. It's actually in some film. Got accepted to a couple of indie film festivals just recently, and it should be out later on this year, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah. How are you celebrating? Like, you went from being an author to making a cartoon.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because it starts out as an idea, and then of course, you know, before it goes out to the public, you test it with other people, because you got to understand when people are like, well, you wrote a book, because you know, they know me as an artist for 20-something years, and they're like, you wrote a book? Well, what's it about? And then when I tell them it's about a pen, and you know, they kind of with the blank look, like, and I'm thinking to myself, well, it's kind of difficult to explain, but you know, if I make it into a film format, or you know, it's also available on audiobook, it would probably go better.
Yeah.
So I just was resolute in doing that, and that's kind of where it's at now. Well, those people will get to see it in its film, in the film format. And I have, between my kids and my grandkids, it'd be kind of a trip for them to kind of see it on the screen, with what I've been working on for all this time,
Absolutely. So, growing up, I used to read the paper, and the paper, it had the cartoon Dilbert by Scott Adams.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't really understand it, growing up until I got into management myself, the office setting. And I didn't read the paper anymore, but I watched the cartoon and really understood it. So in a way, I think you're right. For some people, just taking it out of book form or comic form, I don't know, it just make it, I don't know the right word here to say, but I understood it once it was in cartoon, on the cartoon medium versus the newspaper. And also, growing up and finally getting into the office setting, I kind of really understood it at that point. So yeah, man, you may be on to something with Office Pool. I can't wait to see the next level of that. And just wishing you the best of luck.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would agree with you that, people are very visual people, and I think the visuals will help. It's more of an aid than, not that it's not described well in the book, but, everybody is different, they digest the content different. So it's available in all the formats. Or at least I try to have it available in all the formats for them.
Yes, indeed. All right. Where can our listeners connect with you, and where can they check out Office Pool online?
Office Pool online is it's actually on the website. You can find it on my Instagram, which is actually my pen name, which is author D.L. Blackburn, and Blackburn with an E, and that's on Instagram. Twitter as well, and Office Pool, the series. It's called the Office Pool, the series, and that's .com. That's the actually website for it, and it'll be Amazon. Where else would it be? Apple Books, Audible, all the major places where you can find it, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, all the places that you would hope to find books, that's where you can, find Office Pool. Yeah. And other works of mine.
All right. Listeners, just in case you didn't get those links, no worries. I will have every link in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click those links. And if you guys subscribe to our email blast, you'll also have those links firsthand along with the link to this interview. Can't wait for you to hear it. All right, Mr. Rory, thank you so much for being our special guest today. It was truly an honor having you on.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
This is Coach Denny, creator and host of Vigilantes Radio Live and VP of Operations of IamBusyBone.com. I wanted to let everybody know that the My Music Block TV Awards are back and bigger than ever, celebrating 6 years of excellence. The MMBTVAs honor the most exceptional artists, including actors, writers, producers, dancers, musicians, and performers within the fine arts community, and is not limited to leaders in the community such as activists, entrepreneurs, teachers, and leaders of peace. My Music Block TV started as a television show showcasing music videos, theater, live performances, and interviews in the San Francisco Bay Area, and has become a pivotal part of the entertainment industry. Now an award show that honors underrated talent. Submissions are currently open to all artists, all genres, all ages, all performers. Some of last year's big winners were Jack Frost, Samantha Lavelle, Dick James, Diamond, S.A. Dreamer, and Married at First Sight, Lindsay G, just to name a few. You don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get your artistry rewarded. Your time is now. Visit linktree.com/MMB Awards or email grmhonors@gmail.com. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is only1mediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.